All right, we'll get things started. We are joined with world number 10, Chris Gotterup, here at the Texas Children's Houston Open. Chris, welcome back, making your third start. Just got done playing the front nine of the Pro-Am. What are you seeing from the course and entering this week?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this golf course. Obviously, I think it tends to favor the longer hitters, and I've played well here in the past, and it's in great shape, and the weather looks pretty good for the rest of the week. So hopefully not too hot and too windy, but I'm excited to get out there the rest of the week.
Only multiple winner we have on tour this season so far. Just had a week off after Players. How's your game feeling entering the week?
Yeah, everything feels pretty good. I felt like towards the end of the last stretch, I was a little beat up in terms of travel. It was a busy stretch in a good way, but nice to have a week off at home and get some practice in and chill. And excited for this week, and then obviously a big stretch coming up after.
With the week off, were you able to rewatch Chasing Sunday? Came out a week ago. Were you able to watch? What were your thoughts watching it back, and what was the experience like of them falling around?
I watched it at the house, and I thought it was good. I think it's good for everyone in terms of the fans and whatnot to hear. I think the big takeaway for me was I know this, but I think the caddies came out really good in the show, and how much work they do, and how much therapy / talking through shots. It's not like we're just up there being like, all right, I'm hitting a 6-iron, like pass me the 6-iron. It's talking it through, what they think, like really leaning heavy on them, and I think they came across great. And obviously, just the inside talk. There was one clip on Twitter that I saw of like Spieth and Ricky walking down 18 talking, what kind of shot suits their eye and whatnot, and that's just the stuff that you don't get on broadcast as much. And I thought it was great, and I think people will enjoy it, and I know people have already, I've heard from people that it was great, and hopefully it went well for everyone. And I think there's many people that will be great on top of the 4 that already did it. So
Sticking along that same lines with feedback, have there been any fellow players that have, or friends and family, on feedback or what they thought?
Yeah, I mean, guys have asked in terms of like, how did they do it, and how intrusive was it? And it was really, after the practice round, I've gotten used to wearing a wire and TGL and having the headset in, so it's not too much of a pain for me. But after the first, couple shots with the wire up your back, that's how we did it. You don't even realize it's there, and there was a couple edits that we had to make because I forgot that I was mic'd. A couple, hit one in the water and an F-bomb slipped out, but yeah, I thought it was great, and I think it's just cool insight. Even I didn't play great the last day, and I just think the real life of us packing it up right after and getting on the road and getting to the next one. It's not. It's just stuff that you don't get to see on everyday coverage, and usually coverage is the guys playing the best, and putts going in from here, putts going in from there, and not the true grind that it is. So guys were interested, and I think as long as I really thought it was just another week and it wasn't too much to handle. So I think that was a good sign for guys were like, all right, that actually sounds like a good idea. So. It was great. I really enjoyed it, and the guys that were involved were very helpful, and they spent a lot of time out there following us around and editing all the stuff, and it's amazing how quick they turned it around. So it was cool. The whole thing was cool.
Perfect. Thank you. We're going to go and take questions from the group. We'll go here with Richard.
I don't know if that's exactly. I mean, I'm excited for every tournament is fun to be at, and a different challenge every week. I don't think I wish it was as easy as that. There's been plenty of weeks this year alone that I, haven't felt 100%, and I'm grinding it out, and I feel like I've gotten better at handling those weeks, and putting together a solid week, even though I might not have my best stuff. But when I do feel like I have my best stuff, I show up and I'm ready I'm ready to roll, and I kind of can't wait for Thursday to get started. So yeah, I feel like I'm hopefully trending in that direction here, and I mean, I'm excited for every week to answer your question, but there are some weeks where I feel better than others and put forward the best effort each week, but some weeks you kind of just feel like you got it.
Has this altered your schedule at all? As far like at the beginning of the year, you make out your schedule where you're going to play at because you're playing so well. Have you picked up some more tournaments just to play because you're playing so good?
Not totally. I after the end of last year, I was in every tournament that you could be in for the PGA Tour. So it hasn't really altered my schedule that much. I kind of had a plan of what I was going to do to start the year, and I've been on that plan so far, and nothing seems like it's going to change. I think maybe towards the end of the summer, if I feel burnt out at all, I'll maybe take some more time than usual, but nothing out of the extraordinary on that front.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you played here twice, and then last time you played so much better than you did the first time when you played here.
Yeah.
What did you learn about this golf course the second time?
I don't know how much of it was about the golf course rather than me just playing better. I think there are definitely some quirks to the not quirks, but like greens, like hole 9 and hole 13, where it's just important to not make a mistake and hit it in the right section, and have a little patience and take your par. And I feel like I probably came out and didn't care and went for the home run and got beat up a little bit. So I feel like I'm smarter now, hopefully, and hopefully can execute shots better than I did last year. And yeah, I'm excited. I think it's a good golf course and a good test.
Cameron?
I feel like there's a lot of players out here who maybe have reservations about being mic'd up and allowing those intimate moments between you and your caddy during a round. What went into your decision to okay that, and what was the experience like for you if you were to be asked to do it again?
Yeah, I totally understand both sides of it. I think, we have a lot on our plates in general, just getting ready for tournaments and it being, especially the players too. And but I also think that it gives great insight to what we do, and selfishly, it's always good to, similar to TGL, it's good to be on camera and good for sponsors, good for people to get to know me better and kind of understand how I, function and what I'm about. So I think it's fun for us for the most part, and obviously, you hope to play. Hopefully, I played a little, or wished I played a little better when I was doing it, just for the enjoyment of it. But I would do it again for sure. I think it was fun, and I think it's just a good way to change up, golf. Kind of what we put out, because obviously the media is always, relatively putting out everyone that's playing well, and they don't really give the day-to-day grind of it all and what we do from sun up to sundown. And it's Saturday, Sunday, guys coming down the stretch, and obviously there's some not great moments where you can kind of blow a lead or kind of struggle on the last day. But I think the whole buildup of the whole week is kind of like how you put yourself into contention and how you grind it out to make a cut, or stuff like that. I think is good content for fans and what people like to see.
When you go back to right before you won the Scottish last year, and you're the highest ranked player in the field now this week, how do you wrap your head around just the ascension that you've had and take it all in?
Yeah, it's kind of it's strange in the fact that especially I think players last year, I felt like completely lost, and in the terms of just really struggling with my game, no consistency whatsoever, and then to come back a year later and be ranked inside the top 10, and I had 3 wins during that stretch, and just cool in the fact that I feel like I haven't changed much in my world. I just feel like I have put my nose down and worked hard, and the stuff I'm doing is working, and gives me confidence in the fact that like my team and I are focusing on the right stuff, and it just takes time to put it together sometimes. So I think continue to work on trying to get better, and see where it goes from there.
Will, then Amy.
Hey, Chris, does this course prepare you for Augusta?
I've never played the Masters, so I don't know if I can answer that properly, but I think, I've played once, not in the tournament, and I think there's aspects of it that, I think you get some greens with some pretty severe slopes and spots that you cannot hit in. I think there's some of that at the Masters, and I think, overseed, living down in Florida, I'm playing on Bermuda 90% of the time, and I don't get to play on much overseed, so anytime to play on overseed is helpful in that respect. And but I think they're different golf courses for sure.
Does Memorial Park require anything different around the greens than what you see normally on tour?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough question because I think every week is very different, and it's all weather dependent. It's all, you go back to Riviera where it rained 5 inches this year. You had to fly everything to the hole, and that's just something that we're not used to. But here, I think the thing that makes it difficult is the grass is sticky, so and you get a lot of slopes that kind of run down, and you're chest high to the green, and you want to fly it up, but it's pretty hard, and you can't really bump it into the green because it'll just dig and roll back to you. So it's a tough chipping golf course for sure if you're in the wrong spot. There's right spots to be in that aren't as difficult. But yeah, it punishes bad shots for sure. So I think in that respect I like it because there's not much gray area. You hit a good shot, it's a good shot. If you hit a bad shot, you're gonna deal with the consequences.
And Amy.
Is there anything differently you're doing to prepare for your first Masters?
No, I don't think anything, it's hard to say I'm doing anything different because there's not much to base it off of. But there are, certain things where, I don't, not really. I'm just trying to focus on what I feel like my game needs to focus on right now. And I think every single golf course, and for me especially, if I'm driving it well, I think I can play well at any golf course. So really just trying to make sure I'm going into this week and the next couple of weeks driving it well, and if I'm doing that, I'm probably playing pretty well. So that's my weapon, and gotta use it properly.
What has been the biggest challenge for you this season after getting off to such a great start? What are the challenges that come with that?
I think just trying to be like, all right, great start, but I have 20 more events left the rest of the year, and to not be like kind of roll into the the end of the season and kind of slack off a little bit. I think I've gotten humbled the last couple of weeks a little bit by especially TPC, and I feel like I'm ready to kind of fresh start and get going here. So yeah, I think it's been more of a trying to not be complacent and be happy with what I've done, and try to keep pushing forward and be ready for the rest of the year. And I think having all the majors this year, and hopefully the President's Cup at the end of the year, that's kind of my goal, and I'm going to do whatever I can to be on the team.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris, for the time. Good luck this week.
Thank you.